The backend blueprint architecting with the NestJS, a visual guide to building robust, scalable AI featuring the DApp application. Bringing order to the node ecosystem, the express reality dependencies spaghetti. The NestJS parameter app module, you have a user control, user service, success logic, your database repository, you have auth is guard, pipe and guard, interceptor, product controller, product service, success logic, validation pipe, you have an order controller, which is exception filter, you have an order service, which is exception filter, order repository, core platform service, opinionated architecture, organize features into strict predictable modules, perfect for monolithic on a microservices, TypeScript for leverage classes and decorate to create clean, testable, strongly typed code out of the box. Under the hood runs runs on Express or Fastify, retaining full compatibility while adding enterprise architecture. The project context dev match. We are building the backend API for dating app exclusive for developer. The client name Jasper TypeScript at the JS location Seattle. Create profiles, update, put, delete, read. Feature goal: expose an API to execute full code operation on a developer portfolio, generating unique IDs using into nodes native crypto crypto.random UID, the core engine, the big three, the module, the organizer group related code together and maintain strict feature boundary control at the traffic ops route incoming HTTP request to the right place and decide what to do. Services, the heavy lifter, execute the business logic manipulate data and dictate how to do it. Modules keep features statically executing. The outside world can only interact with the controller while the service remains securely inside the boundary injected automatically. Anatomy of a module, the feature boundary. Controller directing the traffic. Controller delegate the complex logic to provide and focus entirely on requesting, parsing and response delivery. Base route definition establishes the common path for all endpoints in the client. Example: profile the decorator high order function that maps specific HTTP get methods to the function. Directly below it, add controller profile, the add get ID, find by ID. Parameter extraction automatically extracts dynamic route variables from the URL and maps them into a function argument. Request extraction, the decorator metric, decorator add param ID. Target payload, URL path segment, dev match. Example: fetching a specific user profile bind to query location, URL query settings, filtering user / profiles, question location Seattle at body, HTTP request payload, submitting a new profile JSON object via post at HTTP code response override, hardcoding a 204 no content response for delete request. Services and dependency injection. You don't write new profile service, you ask for it in the controller construct and the IOC container wires up the reusable instances. You have a profile services, you have a Nest IOC container, you have a profile controller, constructor, private profile services, data, the safe context. The data transfer objects define the exact property structure expected written as a class C. They proceed at a runtime to allow built-in Nest tools to read their metadata. Incoming JSON payload, JetBrains, name string, description string, create profile DTO, JetBrains, compiled as a class, not an interface. Interfaces disappears after TypeScript compilation. Classes persist at runtime, allowing pipes to eject bad payloads instantly. Pipe transform with validate transformation, converts input data to a desired format before it reaches the controller, rejects the execution if the format is fundamentally wrong. Validation, ensure data meets the regular business rules directly on the DTO, instantly blocks bad payloads from proceeding. Guards, the gatekeeper, applied via add user guards. They have one single responsibility: determine whether a request is allowed to proceed to the route handler, the definitely layer for authorization. Incoming HTTP request, guard execution, can activate, return true, can activate, returns boolean true, returns false, can activate, returns boolean false. Proceed to route, delete /profile/ID 403 forbidden response. Request is denied, Nest automatically throw a forbidden exception. Exception handling, the bubble up effect. NestJS features a built-in exception layer, throws standard exception deep within a service, and the framework automatically formats a clean HTTP response for the client. Controller or global filter layer, intermediate logic service layer. 404 status code profile ID not found, client HTTP response, throw new not found exception. Synthesis, the request lifecycle. Request must survive the safety mechanism before the control routes it and the service executed. Client request, post profile, guard, station checks, auth pass, pipe system validate, DTO via class validated by assembly line. Controller station, add post routes, request extracted body, service station, add injectable, logic executes, pushes data, response, returns clean 201 created to client. The CLI scaffold toolkit. The CLI guarantees your project starts with the best structural convention automatically. Nest new dev match, Nest G module profile, Nest G controller profile, generates the core architecture and TypeScript configuration, creates the feature boundary directory and a file, generates the traffic of writes to the module and provision a test specs file. Beyond the basic level, do not get trapped in a tutorial. Take this tool and build your own robust API. Persistent, swap the in-memory array for an ORM like type ORM or Plasma to persist data permanently. Documentation, use the SOG or OpenAI plugins to automatically generate live API directly from your decorator. Security, implement passport.js for robust role-based guard protections.